Hello everybody, my name is Edgar and today we're going to talk about something that's relatively simple but very important in the grand scheme of things as you continue to follow along to our lessons. And that is going to be uploading files to Google Colab. Now, you see, not all the files you're going to need are native to Colab. In fact, you're going to have to import images, CSV files, TXT files, and all kinds of different files. So, the important question is, how do we get those files into Colab? Well, there's a couple of different methods. But before we could even think about getting those files in, we have to figure out where those files are going to be. Now, if we go to the left side of the screen of your Colab, you're going to notice this little bar with this little folder icon. If you hover over it, it's going to say Files. We're going to go ahead and click it, and this built-in file navigation system is going to be all the files inside the Colab that you can use. Now, our goal is to get our files into that little navigation system. So we're going to go ahead and introduce the first method. And that's going to be the very direct little rectangle with an arrow in it. If you go to this rectangle with the arrow in it, it's going to say Upload to Session Storage if you hover over it. If you click it, it's going to show your device's internal storage, and you're going to access all the files that you have downloaded onto that storage. So in our case, it's already taken me to my Documents directory, and we can already see our C text, which is the file I want to use and I want to upload. So I'm just going to go ahead and click it once, and if I select Open, it will open for me, or I could go ahead and double click it and it will upload by itself. We're going to go ahead and select the OK, just allow it, and there's going to be the same step process for other operating systems such as Linux or Mac. And as you can see, we already have our ctext.txt files that I got from my computer. I could also go ahead and copy path, and I have this little code snippet already typed out just to prove that I can in fact interact with this file in my program. It's just going to print out the first 100 characters just to show that I can mess with it. But this is the most direct and simplest way of getting files in. There's actually other ways of getting files into your Google Colab. And as the name implies, is to just go to the same file system from before. So we're going to click to this little folder icon and navigate to the little shaded in folder with the Google Drive symbol in it. If you select it, it's going to say Mount Drive. Hover over it, If we click it, it's just going to mount Connect Drive for us. So we're going to go select Connect to Drive, and assuming you're already logged in, which you should be in order to use Google Colab, it will mount Drive for you. So if we refresh, we're going to notice that the Drive folder spawns in, and we can now mess with all the files from Google Drive. This is how my Google Drive looks like. It's a little cluttered, but it does mean I could access all the folders I want. And just as an example, I'm going to select this admire.txt folder. I'm going to copy path, and I'm going to paste it back into the little code snippet I had just to prove that I can mess with files from my Google Drive. And the upside of using Google Drive instead of the internal storage is that it allows you to use all your files from Google Drive all at once. You don't have to nitpick which files you want to upload and which ones you don't. You just select the whole thing and it's just in there. And as you can see, our output updated, and we can now print it out. We can now print out this new file, which is great. But there's actually another way to mount Google Drive. So I'm going to go ahead and unmount it, which is going to reset all my file system and get it on a clear slate. As you can see, we have no previous files from before. I don't have the C text, and I don't have my drive. And just to prove it, I'm going to run this one more time, and it's going to give me an arrow telling me the file from before does no longer exist in my session. Now that we have that clean slate, I'm going to go ahead and add 2 lines of code before. Now these 2 lines of code is going to be very simple. We're going to go from google.colab. We're going to import our drive library. And now once we've imported the drive library, we're going to go ahead and just type mount. Now mount has one parameter, and that's the location, the file path, if you will, that this new Google Drive folder is going to be stored. So I'm going to store it somewhere called content, and which is going to be this folder, this directory right here. And then I'm going to give it a unique name that's going to make it obvious that it belongs to me. So I'm going to do Edgar Drive, just like that. Now if I go ahead and run it, I'm going to get a pop-up. I'm going to agree to connecting to Google Drive just like before. And this time it's going to give me another pop-up that's going to tell me which account I want to connect, which Google Drive I want to connect. In this case, I only have one account connected, which is going to be my school account. I'm going to select it, and now it's going to give me my terms and condition page, which we could just agree to. So let it load. We're going to get this, and then we're just going to press allow. Now, just like before, we should see a Google Drive file spawn in. I'm going to go ahead and refresh and give it some time. Now, as you can see, we have the check mark, which means we now have a brand new file, which just like before is going to hold our Google Drive. And if we go ahead and navigate to the same admire.txt file from before and copy path, we're going to notice that it's now going to update the path to include this new folder. And if we run it, we should now be able to see it once again. So, just a quick synopsis of what we covered today. We covered two different ways of adding files to Colab. The first being directly from your device storage, and the second being through Google Drive. And branching off from Google Drive, we discussed two different ways to connect Google Drive. One through the built-in features, and the other being through code from right here. So, if you guys learned anything, or if you guys enjoyed my little lesson on how to upload to Google Colab, please leave a like and comment any questions or any positive feedback you have on us. Please leave a like, share it with your friends, check out some of our other videos, and have a great rest of your day. Enjoy.